is Pantry, and today I'm going to make another spaghetti squash dish. Now you could use this as a main dish most certainly, or it could be a side dish. We are going to have it as part of, kind of a side, but then tomorrow it'll be my lunch, so it'll be a main dish. So you're going to need a spaghetti squash, and this one is on the small side, and I puncture a hole in it and cook it in the microwave. I have that on a Kitchen Tip Tuesday, I believe. And then I've got 6 ounces of pancetta that I've already, this is diced up real tiny, that I've already gone ahead and rendered the fat out of that. And I'm draining that off on some paper toweling. I've got some fresh garlic. It's absolutely delicious. And then all these goodies over here, these tomatoes, and I'm kind of sorry I had tomatoes for lunch, but I got them out of my garden, my first plant that's producing red tomatoes. And I kind of cheated, I bought that plant pretty big. I've got some fresh basil out of the garden, fresh parsley out of the garden that I have volunteering everywhere. Some thyme, one little tiny sprig, I don't want too much rosemary. A little bit of rosemary, very fragrant, and then, this spicy oregano, it's delicious. And so, we're gonna need some vodka because it's got vodka sauce on it. And we're also going to need some cream. And so all these things combined, we're gonna make a delicious meal. So in the same pan that I browned my pancetta off in, I'm gonna go ahead and melt down. There's a little bit of the fat from the pancetta, but I've also got about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. And you could use a little more, a little less, it's totally up to you. And we are going to get our tomatoes in. I really want my tomatoes to be able to break down, and we've got about 1.5 to 2 cups of fresh tomatoes. Now you could certainly use a tomato sauce, but I think this is just going to take it to another level, having fresh tomatoes, and a couple of them being garden fresh tomatoes. And then we're going to go ahead with our garlic and put that in there as well. I'm going to reserve the herbs for, as you can see, this is cooking down just beautifully. And that's what we want, is just to kind of simmer this until those tomatoes really get tender and let loose of all their sweetness. And now I'm going to add in the herbs and the vodka. And so I've got my herbs chopped up. Everything but the basil is in here. The basil I'm going to use at the end to finish this off. So I've got about a little less than 1/2 cup of vodka. And you could certainly leave that out, but then it wouldn't be vodka sauce. So we're going to reduce this by half or close to it. And then we'll be ready to add our cream. And it's going to go over that delicious spaghetti squash. I'm going to finish my sauce off with some heavy cream. Oh, doesn't that look good? And then we're going to let this simmer on low while our pork finishes up on the barbecue. And I know we got our beautiful vodka sauce right here. And so I'm going to put that down over the spaghetti squash. So it's got that beautiful pancetta in there. And I added the pancetta there right at the end because it's already cooked, so you really don't need to add it beforehand. You've already got the flavor from all of that. And it really thickens up the sauce quite a bit. So there we've got our beautiful sauce. And I'm going to top this. So I'm going to top this with some fresh basil. And doesn't that look pretty? And then we'll just give it a little garnish. So I'm excited. And this looks and smells amazing. And I can smell the fresh herbs. I'm super excited. And to have this low carb side dish, actually the whole thing is low carb. So there's very little carbs in spaghetti squash. So we've got some spaghetti squash with that delicious creamy vodka sauce. And this is maybe not your traditional vodka sauce, but this is one of the ways I make it. I make it a couple different ways. So decadent, and it's bright. It's got that fresh tomato flavor. Oh my gosh, this is really, really good. There's a fresh tomato. Yum. And then that creaminess from the cream, you know what? It's okay to have a little bit of that. I love the basil. That pancetta acts like a little vehicle for a little salty bite. It just really balances everything. The fresh herbs in here are delicious, so I hope it inspires you to take advantage of your garden and maybe get some herbs out of the garden to do your own version of a beautiful vodka sauce over spaghetti squash. And here's an Italian style barbecued pork steak. Absolutely fantastic. So I can't wait to see you next time. I hope that this inspires you to come back. You go check out all the links that I've left for you in the show more box below, and you try your own hand at this, and maybe send me a picture on my Facebook